Kamehameha times 3. If you watch Dragon Ball Z back in the day, that battle cry boosts strength and energy and you obliterate the enemy. We need that feeling. I am your Goku and you are my Krillin. Firing people didn't help. Promoting, demoting, DFAing, that didn't help either. I tried getting the honeydew list done early. Lucky shirts, lucky hats. I didn't shave, shaved, ate the same food, didn't eat it all, took my meds, held off, changed TVs. I tried prayer, tried getting mad, thought of voodoo. I thought of voodoo. But I'm too chicken shit to mess with the occult. So I went with my son's baseball call-in T-ball before, because he was big kid, at least 6 inches taller than everybody else. So before launching balls to the snack bar, he'd yell it. Kamehameha. Yeah, my little man would scream it and swing his ass off. So for me, it's Kamehameha today on The Habit Hunter. Hola, compadres. Hello, A's faithful. Welcome to the Habit Hunter A's podcast in the House Always Wins Media Network. I'm Tim Byrnes. You can call me Hobbs. I'm a sports writer covering the athletics for the guys at Mid-Valley Sports out of Los Angeles, where I cover the amazing A's as well as the entire NFL desk. And yes, it's coming. It's coming really fast. I'm a Rams fan. I got good feelings about this year. You can find me at on X and this, the Habit Hunter podcast. Habit Hunter gives you an old school analysis at the conclusion of every series. We identify problems A's players might be developing, and we look for possible solutions. We talk about them. We argue about them. We look for answers. We toss them around in the atmosphere, see what sticks. We analyze moves the front office and the manager make. And many moves made this season have been a disaster, so we hawk the front office and the coaching staff. We give our team flowers when they shred, and winning 2 of 3 series openers since the break is a nice developing trend. We're not going much further than that, but we're getting there. Remember to give the show a like. It makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. I know everyone asks it, but it keeps the show in the algorithm, so make sure you give the show a like. At last check, we're at 575 amazing subscribers as a network, and that's in like 5 months, so that's amazing. So make sure and subscribe and check out all the amazing shows. Booney, our top dog, has built an entire network of shows created by A's fanatics from Brooklyn to the Bay Area. So shows that bring the knowledge and the heart of true A's fans. So go surf the network, get your fill of A's content. And right now we got a lot to go over. It's gonna be hills and valleys as usual. So let's get into it. Now, right off the bat, I'm drinking out of an A's cup. I got a little flack last time for drinking out of a Giants cup. What y'all don't understand is that Giants cup, I got that for my first date with my wife 29 years ago. So I have about 10 of them. So that tells you what kind of a first date I had. It was amazing. Anyway, every time I go to sleep, I wake up to some devastating ass news like, we're losing somebody. We're losing our trade bait. Shea Langoliers is what I saw. Torn meniscus, done for the year. They say 10-day IL. It's a torn meniscus, people. Like, just add zeros to the 10, This is just what being unlucky feels like. The guys at Locked On had a thumbnail about trading Shea too. I didn't click on it because it's like, welcome to the party, guys. We've been talking about that for weeks. And they had just thrown that up. Mr. Bedhead, that's what I call him, because I'm bald as hell. So I can only, bow to the greatness of anybody who has a full head of hair. But it looked like he was finally deciding where the team was. you know, and it's all gone now. There's no reload, guys. There's no help coming. That was our shot. Now, what do? We reap the Kotsay decision to leave Daniel Suzak in the wind. He's playing catcher in San Francisco now instead of in front of his hometown Roseville fans. Right here, right over here. By the end of this show, the Kotsay missteps will be clear to all of you. But the season moves on, and we are seeing a few positive changes since the All-Star break. One of them is we are winning series openers. But I'm afraid to look at the A's transactions page every day. It's scary. Changes for the team going into the series. As we expected, reliever Junior Tour was optioned back to the minors with his 47.25 ERA. Quit tipping them pitches. That might help. Ace line top pick, Drew Byrnes, $7.5 million, which is over what the slot pick at number 8 is, which is little less than $7 million. You know, who cares? He's signed. That's all I needed. That's all I needed here. I don't care what you're paying him. They signed free agent shortstop Jonathan Ornelas to a minor league contract. I do like that. He was batting 301 in AAA. You know, how long until we're going to need him? People are dropping like flies. The A's got great pitching Friday night from both the starter, Jacob Lopez, and the bullpen. 2-hit shutout, but the bats had trouble for most of the game and most of the series. So you're going to hear me saying a lot about the A's are pathetic because for the most part, them at the plate until late when we were so far behind, the A's were pathetic. So we started off the Friday night. A's went down easy, 12 pitches, 1, 2, 3, typical. I'm going to try to be upbeat, but it's hard when you get punked every Sunday. Yeah, every Sunday. Look at this. I just wrote this down right before game showtime. The games we've been in, 12-10, 10-1, 13-8, 23-9, 9-7, 9-8, 9-1, and whatever today was, 11-8. Those are all on Sunday. It's bad. Just bad. But bottom of the first, I want to say the A's actually played some badass defense in this game. Obviously, today was a cluster F, but considering McNeil was at first, Butler was in right field, they both got the job done, and there were 3 double plays in Friday's game. So, you know, today was a mess. But Jacob Lopez, he walked Austin Martin, the first guy he faced. He had 3 full counts in the first, but he set the next 3 batters down and left Martin out there on second base, actually. He got through 20 pitches, no big deal. Second inning, the A's had another 1-2-3 pitch. Let's count those today. That's 2 so far. On 9 pitches in the second. Tommy White hit one into the gap between left and center. I do want to talk about that because it was Byron Buxton. And I prop up anybody who can snag a ball like that. He was full dead run. Austin Martin's laying out behind him, trying to get it. He cut it off. I mean, you got to tip your cap to a guy in a play like that. The guy was a beast. And somebody invaded Lopez's body because dude struck out the side in 14 pitches in the bottom of the second. That is probably the best control I've ever seen in one specific inning for that guy all season. I loved it. In the third, A's went 1-2-3 again and went hitless through the first time through the lineup. And you know, makes you wonder, how did we win this game? Lopez got 2 quick outs before walking Martin again, hitting Buxton, but he struck out Ryan Jeffers, to escape the traffic. I was starting to kind of get a good vibe about Lopez because I'm used to seeing him just implode right off the bat. In the fourth, A's finally got somebody aboard with 1 out. And sidebar, I mean, way too many games this season where our first hit or first person that reaches is in the 4th and 5th innings. At least 4 or 5 times this month, including today. Now that I'm thinking about it, today I think our first hit was top of the 5th. The A's have to improve their approaches to start the game because the stagnation at the plate, it's not even a habit. It's just what the A's are. You know, it doesn't seem like they're breaking it because at least 1 or 2 games every series, it's it's nothing for over half the game. You can't do that. I don't know why it's so meh. But Tyler Soderstrom walks, and we finally have a base runner. And what do? It's what we always do. No, not the strikeout, not the 3-pitch strikeout. We're actually eliminating those for about the last 5 or 6 games. We're getting a lot better about that. But Shea hit into a double play, and we're going to talk about Shea, and I want to cry. Lopez walked Royce Lewis with 1 out in the 4th, and he steals 2nd and 3rd. So there was a bit of stress because Lopez walks Luke Keichel, who steals 2nd for the 3rd base of 1 inning. I mean, we got lucky. Lopez got Brooks Lee to pop out, kept it scoreless, but stole 2nd, stole 3rd, stole 2nd again. It's like he showed major cojones, and like Springs, I'm talking about Lopez. He looked more relaxed this time through the rotation. I really felt like he's settling down a little bit. The last two games, although he wasn't elite, he wasn't doing badly. Springs didn't today. A's got a run in the 5th. Donovan Walton walked on 4 pitches. He's got 8 walks in the limited time he's been here. Yeah, he's batting like a $190 or whatever. I think he's 3 for 17, if my brain remembers correctly. It's still early, so I'm kind of sharp. Tommy White doubled for 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Now McNeil walked to load him, and Butler hit the first pitch for RBI sacrifice fly. Ooh, go out, buy a lotto ticket, because yes, it was a successful sac fly. I was stoked. On a wild pitch, Tommy Tanks takes 3rd, but the throw gets by Brooks Lee. White shot for home, and this sucked because the minute he popped and took 2 steps, by that 2nd step, you can see, go back and look at like 1 step off a 3rd, heading for home, thinking the ball is way off into the outfield. He didn't know the guy was backing him up. Austin Martin was backing up. Or no, it was actually the shortstop. Anyway, the guy backing him up, he had the ball in like 2 steps. So that 2nd step, the 3rd base coach does this. It was so funny because he was just like, oh no. Tommy broke for home, and they fielded that throw. It was an easy throw. He was out like 4 steps. Like 4 steps before he was even close to home plate. He was already out like by 4 steps. So. And Austin Martin, he was a problem Friday night. He doubles with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th, but he's left out there. Lopez had a nice game, but Austin Martin, he was annoying. It seems like we have that one guy that's good but not great, and then he's great against us. I think we personally, the Athletics, caused 1/3 of the All-Stars to become All-Stars this year, just off their RBIs and home run totals and the nightmare big innings. I mean, how many of those guys are sitting in, now All-Stars now, just because of the greatness that was started off by the Athletics? It's just bad. Lopez was pulled after 5 innings. Oh, I meant to take a sip. Hold on. 5 innings, 1 hit. Fantastic day for Jacob. 4 walks, not so great. 4 Ks, 0 earned. That's beautiful. What else are you going to ask for? Especially with our rotation. If we can get some of these guys, Perkins, Springs, if we can get Perkins, Springs, or who am I missing? I don't know. What I'm trying to say is we can get one of these 3, 4, and 5 starters to produce every rotation through, we're going to get 2 out of 5 wins. That's what we can expect on the best option or best possibility, because right now we're lucky to get 1 of 3. No Ginn, no Springs now. Although we'll talk about it. I was actually relieved when Springs was 120. I don't know what he did. Did he walk away? I don't know. We'll talk about that. Jeff Hartlieb started on the mound in the 6th for the A's. Disaster today, disaster Friday. He walked the bases loaded, and he threw in a wild pitch. So Jose Suarez, Chubby Suarez, my chubby bunny, he saves the day, gets Brooks Lee to hit into a double play. He dodged a huge bullet. And what I do like about this, and I'm going to point it out, because I said at the top of the show that there are some things that we're doing right. One's winning the first game of a series. We've done it a couple times in the last 3, so that's good. But Dan Hobbs is, in fact, doing a good job as a batting or a pitching coach. He's doing a great job because he's walked out there and he took care of business. They pulled him. We all know Scott Emerson would have let it play out. Come on, how many times have they walked the bases loaded and they let one more guy go and they get somebody up in the pen, but then they have to have a second guy go. And then let it play out. And by that time, it snowballs into 2 or whatever. Chubby Suarez. Jose Suarez is my dude. He has that crunch belly beast, kind of like me, the Captain Crunch. I'm hungry, you can tell. Lika Williams had a pitch hit single to open the 7th. He was left on third base. Suarez had a great 1, 2, 3, 7th, all ground outs, 10 pitches. I'll just say it this way. I told you in the last show that he's the one that I trust the most right now in the pen. He just seems relaxed. Now, today I wrote a note. He looks confident and at ease with what he's pitching. He's walking in onto the mound and he has a good, confident look. I can see it. That's what part of my schooling is, reading people. And I see it. He looks like he wants to be there. Everybody else looks scared out of their mind on the mound. I'll say it. Everybody but Gage Jump, he gave me a little waiver in the last one. So what I'm saying is Suarez, I don't think you limit him to 1 inning. I think he's a 2-inning guy. I think he's somebody we can middle relieve right now, because he's on a roll. In the 8th, A's went to easy 1, 2, 3, 2 strikeouts. Bolte and Sodi. Bolte, I'm sorry, he's ass right now. He sucks right now. He's not getting anything. I think in the last series he was 0 for 11 as well. So 2 series in a row where you're just not getting anything out of him. Just a note. A's didn't have the offense Friday, but it was enough, and we'll take it. Elvis Alvarado takes the 8th. He allows Ryan Jeffers to single right off the bat. And, Elvis Alvarado, he scares the hell out of me right now. But he got Josh Bell to hit into another double play. Royce Lewis, he has a flyout, so he gets out of it, which is fantastic. He still scares me. Our 9th, Shea doubles to do his kind of late inning thing where, his first hit of the day is in the 9th, but in all fairness, it was a 2-0 game. So great. But we're going to miss him. Cortez and Lika Williams, they struck out after his double. Tommy Tanks flies out. Of course, we don't score. Hogan Harris, as always, got to make it interesting. That dude, man. I still take him in the 9th over anybody. I still don't want Suarez in the 9th, but Hogan Harris has the best. He's the best pitcher, best throwing pitcher we have. So I'll always want him in the 9th until we get somebody better or somebody just stands out. He brings the time run to the plate. He hit Luke Keichel, and he got an out. Got his 8th save. There was a double play. Brooks Lee hit into another double play. That was 3 double plays in the game. 2-0 shutout. During our chat, Mia from the show Trending, she said in the chat, "Is this what happiness feels like?" That's so relatable. It's so rough being an A's fan lately. A good stat in this game: A's relievers banged out 3 10-pitch innings to finish up the game. 7th, 8th, and 9th all were 10-pitch innings. Because remember, my first habit we identified was for a stat was if a pitcher can retire the side in an inning in 12 pitches or less, he almost always has had a quick, low-stress inning without damage. And so I kind of look at that. Once you're right around that 12 pitch, that's a good thing. A's relievers, those last 3 innings, like I said, were completed in 30 pitches. It's a great start to the weekend series, but we know what we do, just like the last series. Won the first, tanked the 2. It is strange, though, in this game. Our pitchers, we say they had a good game. They did. They still walked 7 guys. They still hit 2 batters, and they still threw a wild pitch. But that's our A's. Never easy. Saturday. Woke up to big announcements, right? We were happy. Seeing Nick Kurtz had been activated and was in the lineup. That gave me smiles. With Kurtz, it was kind of like that godlike, the clouds parting. Oh, children singing, birds chirping and shit. I'm all stoked. I was all happy. My wife's like, what the hell? No, we finally got a bat back, after we lost another bat. It's like getting Sodi back, and then Rooker goes down, and it's Shea, or then it's Kurtz, and then it's Shea. Just a nightmare. What a nightmare year. How many people? They said we had 11 guys on IL right now. That's insane. 3/5 of our rotation is out. I don't know, but Kurtz, he completely crapped himself in his return. We're going to go over that in a bit. Kurtz did not rehab at all in live games, and that made the difference. Luis Morales was called from AAA. Remember, he was absolutely shelled to start the season, and he was sent down. And if you remember, he was 0-2. ERA was over 14, which sounds really small when we just sent down a guy with a 47. So 14 ERA was still horrible. And I had said in one of my first shows ever that he wasn't ready before the season began and shouldn't have made the opening day roster. We did it anyway. He got shelled. We sent him down, and thank God. We brought him back up, I think, and let him get shelled again, sent him back down. But we've left him there for a while. 7.18 ERA is a little rough. The one thing I did note while he was down there, 68 hits, 33 walks in 52 innings. That's almost 2. I know it doesn't work out that way, but let's just average it out easily. 2 base runners an inning average. Okay, if you got 2 of the 3 bases full, you're going to score a lot of runs. The other team's going to score a lot of runs. So that shows you how short of arms we are. We signed, like I said, shortstop Jonathan Ornelas to a minor league contract. Sweet dude, like I said, hitting over 500, 19 doubles, 3 triples, 9 bombs. He has over 200 extra base hits in the minors. Now, granted, he's been in the minors almost a decade, but that shows you he's got the pop. So I'm looking to see him soon. I looked at his fielding too. He plays shortstop, second, and third base in the infield and plays outfield in left and center. He's about a .970 fielding percentage in both the infield and the outfield, but we want to keep him off of left field, obviously, because that would mean Sodi's down. But left field is his worst position. He does have a little, for some reason, the angle, I guess, is he's not quite as effective there. And I have been calling for former Cy Young Award winner Trevor Bauer, and I know I can already see the guys rolling the eyes, but to be picked up from the Diablos in the Mexican League to help the young arms eat some innings. That sounds like a really good idea, right? I took the expected heat from everybody because I know everybody hates this guy. He was blacklisted, but he was railroaded by a chick who needs to go away and repent. And we all know he's kind of an asshat in his career, yells at people. But he did go get a former Cy Young Award winner. Just wasn't Bauer. It was 38-year-old Dallas Keuchel instead. And you want flashbacks. I just remember that dude, 7 and 8 innings. 7 and 8 innings. He's always there going into the 8th and 9th. Yeah. If we could get 1/3 of that effectiveness, he's got a minor league contract. So, we're going to see where that goes. But let's be realistic. We need him. we need a lot of people. We need 3 guys that we can pull up and start right now. If we could, we should. It's like we need 3 new starters. Luis Morales is going to be a starter for sure. As for Saturday's game, Kurtz in the lineup gave me instant hope that we could win the series. All we got to do is win one of the 2 and we're set, right? Then he went and had the golden sombrero. And I'll explain for those. Golden sombrero is when you are so good you strike out 4 times in one game. It's ugly. You get to wear the golden sombrero. And that's how he started coming off of IL. That's what happens when you don't have any rehab assignments. No games. A's reliever Brady Basso was the starter. A's started it off. There were some issues with who was starting for the Twins. It was Mike Paredes, Kendry Rojas. So the game started about 10 minutes late. It was Rojas. Sodi had a 2-out single to start the first, which I love because we just keep getting roared through the first time through the lineup. But he got a single. But at Kurtz and Heim, they both had strikeouts. Nobody scored. Kurtz came in with an 0 for 20 streak, which, and I'm going to gripe, which Jenny made it sure. Coming back off break, coming back the minute he was coming up, that's the first thing out of her pie hole was, he's in an 0 for 20 streak. He's not doing well. We know that, Jenny. Shut up. Like they just give such a bad vibe, and Dallas does it today, and we're going to talk about that too. But it's almost sinister how little they lost the team. I mean, we know they're bad. We just don't need to hear it. Reliever Brady Basso, he opened the first. Basso allowed a 2-out walk to Cody Clemens, but Josh Bell grounded out, so all is good. Brady Basso had a good start. We're going to talk about this. The A's in the second. What are we going to say? Went down 1-2-3 on 12 pitches. Give me the same feel as the opener, that doomed, energetic feel. That vibe we get at the plate when they usually after a win, that's usually when they drop off anyway. But this is 2 games in a row like this. To me, this is an easy adjustment for Kotze. He doesn't lay ground rules, apparently. Hitters are doing it, but early ABS challenges. Heim lost another one early in the game in the second with nobody on. It's like, stop it, dude. Why are you doing that? Why does Jonah do that? But he did it a few games ago too, and I find that we're not doing it as much at the plate, but we still do. And it's easy for God to just tell him, don't even think about using it there, right? Unless it's blatant, you'll give your firstborn for it. Because challenging in unimportant situations and too early in games, that's something that doesn't need to happen. And we're bad as it is. We don't need all the little extras, right? The little extras that just snowball bad things or make bad things happen right before or right after a good thing happens, like a single or a double. Anyway, back to this. Victor Caratini, he singled. He didn't advance. It was just kind of a slow start to the second game. We traded 2-0 wins, but we were back to bad ABs at the plate. Bolte walked, which was basically, I think, the only thing he did this series. He might have had a single too, but not much else. Lawrence Butler moved him over on a sac bunt, and I told you about this last time. I hate sac bunts for this team because we don't produce because of it. So I would rather try to produce not doing it. Jacob Wilson flies to right field. He moves Bolte to third. Kurtz strikes out again. And I'm going to keep saying it. Save the sac bunts completely. They doom us. We never score. Bolte was left on third. Happens again later in the series. Ryan Kreidler, he doubled on the first pitch to start the bottom half of the third. But Basso, he struck out Trevor Larnach. And then he got pulled. A good time to pull him. Again, Hobbs likes Hobbs. Likes what Hobbs did. He went 2 1/3 innings, 2 hits, a walk, 3 Ks. That's a good outing. Mason Barnett, he relieves him. Kreidler promptly steals third base. Here's a stat. I better take a drink for this one. We've allowed 17 stolen bases in the last 3 series. Peeps, that's failing at the little things. I hate that. Barnett strikes out Byron Buxton. Cody Clemens flies out to get out of the threat. Barnett looked good. Fourth, A's did what? You guys say it. Mouth it, write it down. Do the jingle. 1, 2, 3, and what? 12 pitches. These bats are weak, and I'll say this: I have no reason for saying this. I have no statistical background analysis or deep dive into their history or junior high school when they were, playing. Call it now, American Legion. Let's say in high school. Putting Cortez and Heim at cleanup just doesn't feel right. I don't know why, but when I see them at cleanup, I'm just like, nothing's going to happen. I don't know why, but it doesn't feel like anything's going to come from that. Barnett, he stayed in for the fourth. He allowed a 2-out single to Caratini again. Alan Roden popped out first pitch, so Barnett looked really good. Fifth, Jeff McNeil, he doubles with 1 out, ground rule double. It was a ground rule double because a fan snatched it, just reached out and snatched it. To me, fan interference, whatever. Of course, the A's followed that with what? The strikeout. Nobody moved up 90 feet. Butler draws a walk. We're at first and second, 2 outs, but Wilson grounds out. It's just a rough day. 2 runs in 2 days is not cutting it. Bottom half was Mason Barnett some more. 2-out single, Trevor Larnach. Buxton hit a deep – oh, my God, I forgot about that one. Buxton hit this ball deep center, and, that had the sphincter making that noise. That scared me a little bit. I was, oh, no, now we're screwed. Twins were as bad at the plate, though, for most of this game as we were. They just had one key inning just like us in the opener. In the sixth, Kurtz led off the sixth by striking out for the third time. Sodi grounded out on 1 pitch. Heim popped out on 1 pitch. That's pathetic. Even worse, that was 8 pitches. 8 pitches. That's so annoying. Barnett got touched finally in the bottom half of the sixth. He walked Josh Bell. Royce Lewis doubled for second and third, 1 out. But again, like I said, Hobbs proper mound visit. It didn't produce, but proper mound visit. He got Caratini to fly on the next pitch, I think. And then a 2-run single. Alan Roden, we're down 2-0. That was game. It's all good, but I think expecting 4 innings out of Barnett was kind of a stretch. And I know he's done it before. He did do it once this year. But maybe after the double was probably a good time to pull him. But whatever. I mean, my favorite dude came in. Chubby Bunnies himself. Jose Suarez comes in, strikes out Brooks Lee. I do want to point out Cotton Hobbs were on the tablet, looking to decide when to bring Suarez in. And it wasn't a bad thing at all. It was just like I could see they were looking at it, but it was maybe 1 or 2 batters too late because then it was the walk and then the single. In the seventh, McNeil hits a 2-out double, Bolte flied out. We just don't have the ability to consistently string anything together. When we do, it's usually mixed in with a weird error or something drops in that gives us that little extra oomph to get a few runs. But that's how the A's are rolling now. Hager, he relieved Suarez for the 7th. I was surprised Suarez didn't stay in. Oh, okay. Younger went 1, 2, 3 and 7 pitches. I mean, I told you I remember last time I told you I kind of like this dude. He did have back-to-back singles and a couple of other things. He let some runners that he inherited score, but I liked his presence on the mound, and he looked good. And so I was I gave him a little rah, 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 in the last show. But he had a great 1, 2, 3 and 7. That's perfect. The 8th, Lawrence Butler opened with a walk, and I want to point that out because I always point out when he strikes out in the 8th and 9th on 3 pitches, a lot. This season, a lot. But I want to point that out because he likes to strike out in those late innings, and he is getting walks, and he is getting contact in the late innings now. And so he is improving his eye lately. It's refreshing, for sure. Wilson hit into a sure double play. Back to the pitcher, but the pitcher, Andrew Morris, he air mailed it by second base into center field. So we had first and third with no outs, and this is where we had the chances. Kurtz strikes out for the fourth time. Golden sombrero. It's an anniversary of a 6-for-6 4-homer day too, but those at bats were completely uncompetitive. So he was swinging at strikes, but he was missing them. He was late. A lot of fastballs too. Hine was a complete non-factor. A's didn't score. First and third with no outs. Again, no score. How about you go first and third with no outs and you don't score like multiple times in the last 15 days? Complete inability to get a sac fly. So the runner on third never comes. Okay, I'm starting to get pissed again. All right. Home. Luis Medina took the eighth. I already gave up after that because the lack of bats. It was just bad. I knew it was going to be bad. 1-2-3 inning for Medina, 2 Ks. That's good. Then the ninth, that's what I was thinking of. The A's peed out. They wet the ninth. Another 1-2-3, 8 pitches. I wrote this down. Asterisk. You know what asterisks mean? I'm going to get a T-shirt with an asterisk on it. Maybe I'll just write one in. A's were retired in 13 pitches or less 6 times in this game. That's horrible. Basically, the only thing of note in this game was McNeil's 2 doubles. 8 total hits in 2 games sucks. So today, here we go. I'm afraid to go to sleep now. Every time we wake up, we lose somebody. Kurtz, Rooker, Leiter. I don't care about Leiter. And now Shea. A's were almost there with this, I think, too. And we're thinking of moving them. They were saying they weren't. I think they were just saying the right things, trying to get, as much interest because there was a lot of interest, which we can't even do this right. It's just heartbreaking. For real. No yelling. Brian Servin's here, though. Gotta feel good about that, right? In the first, no, you know what? I wrote an asterisk, and then I wrote a second asterisk, not to do it, but A's cast of NBC Sports California, they started the broadcast when they came back from break. Jeffrey Springs is 0 for 9 in his last 15 starts. Like, great home team coverage, asshats. Like, come on. Couldn't say he held it to 2 earned in his last start in 5 innings. See how easy that is to just throw a positive spin on something? Like, from top to bottom, everything is wrong. Typical A's, 3 up, 3 down. Kurt struck out again. 5 for 5 at this point with 5 strikeouts since returning from IL. The no rehab assignments, I wrote it in the notes. No rehab assignments again. Obviously, it was in my head thinking about it. Austin Martin doubles right off the bat against Springs. And you could feel the bad vibe right off. Ryan Jeffers singles. It's first and third, 1 out. And this is where Dallas annoyed me. It couldn't be more annoying. Man, I think I'm drinking or something. He was just railing on about how we suck. Well, we don't do this right. It's like, Pastor Joe, if you're going to watch, close your ears for a second. Like, shut the fuck up, Dallas. I'm sorry, but that's what I say to the TV. I mean, was it 9 innings of more of Law Dog, more of Sody Pop, no, it was more of glossing the enemy, probably more staring at Jenny's toes, more bad vibes from the A's announcer. Man, stop it. If my wife notices it, because she's playing on her phone and on her tablet when she's sitting watching the game with me, just casually watching. And sometimes she just looks up and she doesn't even say anything. She just look over at me with a nod like this, like, is this guy getting paid by the A's? We know we're bad. Anyway, we were bad. Double, out, single, RBI ground out, stolen base, triple, bad throw, home on the throw, or bad throw, home on the throw, 3-0 down, evil vibes. Thanks. It's like, I'm going to start blaming Dallas until, what's funny is my wife's like, because my wife says that he has a bad beard. She hates his beard. And, I'm a guy. I don't give a what his beard looks like. He pitched the game, got golden in my eyes, right? And for 3 years, I wouldn't let her talk smack. And now I'm the one talking smack. And she's like, I get it, because he doesn't sound like he's the home team's announcer. Anyway, A's in the second. What do we get? 1, 2, 3 on 11 pitches, par. Springs went back at it, but you know what I did right? Dude's face was red as hell as he took the field, and that's his tell. Strange things are afoot at the Circle K when his face gets red, and that's not a good sign. And he went single, then a walk, and then he got a good mound visit, another good mound visit. This guy's old school. I don't care what our record is at the end. Give Dan Hobbs the job for good. Everything's well-timed. I may not agree with all of his decisions on who and when, but I like his style. I like the way he does things. He doesn't let shit get out of hand. He doesn't sit there and watch. But dude hit it so hard off of Springs that nobody could advance. The line out was so hard after that walk. And then Jeffrey Springs twinges on a follow-through, and he asks to be pulled. And you know what? I didn't even care, because heart of hearts, he was about to serve up a home run. We all know it. It was going to be 3 runs that inning, one way or another. And a tiny part of me, and don't get mad at me, guys, but just a tiny part of me was wondering, like, if he was like, I remember that meme, fuck this shit, I'm out. It was just a tiny part of me was like, man, he don't want to be here. Anyway, Luis Morales took over for Springs, 1-1 count, 1 out, and walked Austin Martin to load him up. Line out, and then he boxed. What's stupid is you got to announce whether you're like in the stretch or you're wind up or not. And it was a rookie mistake, I guess, that he told them in a previous at bat how he was going to pitch. And then in the next at bat, he didn't, but he did it the same way, and they called a balk. And so dumb mistake, down 4-0. That's irritating, because I don't know. But hitting coach Chris Cron was booted, yelling at the umpire. And in my opinion, Cron should be booted for the lame ABs early on. In my opinion. Anyway, 2-run single, 6-0. It's basically freeze-dried ass at this point. What sucks is during these times, these earlier innings, if we'd have just scratched 1 or 2 across, this would have been a game. 1 or 2 decisions by Cott, this would have been a game. In the third, beautiful ABs by the A's, of course. Alika Williams, I like him. Strikeout, McNeil, fly out on 1 pitch. Bolte, ground out on 1 pitch. This is a joke. Morales again, nice inning. Seemed to have some control. A lot better than the beginning of the year. He was horrible at the beginning of the year. He was everywhere, all over the place. He looked good. He's a starter, guys. He's going to be a starter in the next rotation for sure. Top of the order in the 4th. Kurtz finally gets someone on base. He gets a walk, and our starting catcher Jonah Heim hits into a double freaking play. Every time I try to get something going, something stupid. Strikeout or double play. Strikeout or double play. Twin side. Morales is still in. Double. Stolen base. Another one. Heim throws it into left field. 7-0. Heim's having a rough time. He had 6 stolen bases in 1 game against him. Yeah. We're not very good. We started off pretty good, too. And we're just bad now. I know Shea actually was looking pretty good. I think he had 11 throwouts. The speed at which these teams, they generate runs against us, though, and we help them out the entire way with errors and things where they call them hits, but they're really errors. But I stuck it out. I stuck this game out. It was bad. We got closer. A couple decisions were bad. Twins scored in 6 of 8 innings in this game. That means it's consistent problems every inning. But in the fifth, Sodi finally singles, and that's the first hit in the fifth again. Before we get a hit, we are really lame to start games. And what do we do? Okay, we finally get the hit. It's the fifth. Last inning, it was a walk. What do we do? Yeah, strikeout, and then what? Double play. We got them both in. We got the strikeout, we got the double play. You know, it's like, screw you, Forrest, for building this shit. It's horrible. A's defense strikes again with McNeil. He jobbed a grounder for a BS. He called it a single. It was an error. Shut up. You know, as if we need that kind of aggravation to be flopping balls everywhere. Flopping balls everywhere. Morales showed a bit, though. He navigated through some traffic. He got his fastball by two guys for strikeouts. So he looked pretty good. I'm actually impressed. Yes, he had the runs given up, and the one given up on his own. But I like it. I want to see more. The sixth, McNeil singles with one out. Next up's Bolte. He does what? He strikes out. Yeah. I feel like Sundays are always blowouts. Wilson gets hit by another pitch. That pisses me off. I wanted blood. I was all pissed off. I'm like, how many guys are going to get hit? It's not like they're getting hit in the thigh. It's always the face. I don't know. I wanted blood, though. Kurtz gave me that. He gave me a 3-run bomb. Got over all them strikeouts. That was brutal to watch, or whatever it was, over 26 stretch, over 25 stretch. 412, 104 off the bat, 7-3. So we're still in it. And you start looking at those missed opportunities now and those easy 1, 2, 3, 8 pitch innings, the complacency. Because we acted like we cared at the end of this game. We were just too far back. Morales was still in for the sixth, 1-out double, Ryan Kreidler. Kreidler steals third. Yeah, get used to these things. Because Heim's giving up a lot. Like I said, 6 in one game against Nats, against the Nationals. Sodi steps up under a fly, and he bricks, bounces one off the inside of his glove. You know, I mean, it must have been bad that inning because it happens to Austin Martin half inning later. But sac fly, E7, it's 8-0, and that's not on Morales. That's not on Morales. The seventh, like I said, Austin Martin, he lost Sodi's fly ball. It's kind of, tit for tat. It dropped for a double. Sodi got the double. Tommy White singles for first and third, no outs. Now here we go. Butler pinch hits for Colby Thomas. I usually don't like that, especially Butler in late innings. I was a little worried. And he took a walk. He loads him up, nobody out. It's fantastic. Butler had an eye. I wanted it to be that way. I was so worried. I was just going, oh, this sucks. I had already decided to cry, and he made me smile, so that's good. Donovan Walton pitch hits with him loaded. He draws an RBI walk too, 8-4. Obviously, pitcher's got some issues. McNeil ground out, of course, because he can't get it. Yeah, ground out, but it did score a run, 8-5. So we're getting there. Carlos Cortez, he pinch hits for Bolte. He's been, like I said, he's been asked for 2 series. Sac fly, 8-6. We weren't rolling over at the plate, at least. 8-6. Down 2 runs, got a couple innings to go. And who comes out? Jeff Hartlieb. My first thought, I wrote it down. This guy sucked last outing. He walked him loaded in the opener. And remember, Suarez had to save his butt with a double play. So I'm like thinking, why him? There's got to be somebody else in there. It's 8-6. But, okay. Morales, 4 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 1 walk, 5 Ks. He proved he's going to be the starter next time through. Hartlieb, what do you think happens? Triple, sac fly, 9-6. It's almost like Kotze went, how do we put this game out of reach? Hartlieb, you're up. You know, it felt like that because why would you pick the guy that walked unloaded? 1, 2, 3 eighths pretty much killed it for us at the plate. You know, so I'm sure they were like, well, why not leave Hartley in? You know, continue the BP, right, Cut? Well, because we rally. Nah, so Hartley began, right? Single, RBI, triple. It's amazing how many triples this ass pitching staff gives up. It's 10-6, RBI single, 11-6, another single. Ninth didn't matter because we rolled over in the eighth. Sending Hartley out there says it all. Like, fire Kotze, guy. Fish, fire him. We're tired of seeing the same crap every series. We maybe win one. We have one that's kind of close or goes extra innings, and then we completely shit ourselves. I hate this. Tommy White singles, Walton singles, McNeil RBI single, 11-7. Cortez RBI ground at 11-8. That is ball game. See what happens when you don't give up in the fifth? Or at least one game every damn series. It's like he gives up, and it's like, what do you need to see, Fish? I don't know. For real. Okay, for real. Let's just cut the shit. How Kotze organizes his pitchers, his lineup cards, and especially his bullpen almost ensures he can't win 2 out of 3 games most of the time. Think about it. I mean, how often have you seen a split? Remember, think of this. How many times have we had a split in the first 2 games? It's 1-1 and we're going into the finale. And you look up at the lineup card and you literally say, what the being sat. Guys batting 400, sat because you're worried he might not be a good against lefty. I mean, we don't forget this stuff. Remember this? We've lost, 11 series or tied in a row. 1 tie in there. Angels. Fish. Kotze is not the guy. He has lost the room. He's lost the bullpen. He's lost the fans. You know he's lost the pitching staff. They're scared of him. Anyway, we're wrapping up. No roll call. I used to be able to give up some fun facts, quell the pain of the crap staff on the pitching mound, on the pitcher's mound. But now the bats are kind of as bad as they are, so I can't even really talk about anybody. I do want to say maybe throw in Hogan Harris in there for the 8th today. Could have made a difference if you think about it. We lost Severino, Ginn, Springs, Geloff, Shea, Krisky, Leiter. I still don't care about Leiter. Rooker, Denzel Clark. The season's a fist to make a grip. It's tough to be an A's fan. It's going to be rough, my people. We got 4 against the Red Sox, man. How's that going to turn out? Oh, my gosh. We have to be the unluckiest team in the world. That's a wrap. You know what? As always, be excellent to each other. I'm a ghost. Peace.